Hi, this is Adam Blaylock, and you're listening to Adam the Movie Guy. Thank you for tuning in and enjoy the show. Warning, the show you're about to listen to contains strong language and an unhinged host. Don't take me too serious. I'm doing a bit here, so stay the fuck off my back. Enjoy. If this shocks you, if this offends you, and you clicked on the wrong fucking podcast.
Scream as you may, scream as you might. If you try to escape, you'll be dead on this night.
Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Adam the Movie Guy. I am your lovable, unhinged host, Adam, and on this episode, I will be continuing my coverage of the Leprechaun movies, this time discussing my favorite film in the series, Leprechaun 2, or by another title that I personally want to call it, Bride of the Leprechaun. They really should have called it that, but it is what it is. Matter of fact, for the future films I'm going to cover in this series, instead of just the title of the movie, I'm also going to give an alternate title to those films as well, so that should be fun. Now, the film was released in 1994, directed by Rodman Flender, and of course starring Warwick Davis as the Leprechaun, as he played him in all these films except, well, I'll get to those later. And also starring Charlie Heath as the main guy, Cody. Siobhan Durkin as Bridget. Oh, goddamn. Take it easy, Adam. You're not on the characters yet. Fuck me, I'm already about to act up. Oh, I'm still recording. Sandy Barron as Morty. Adam... Holy shit, I cannot read this name. Biask? Jesus Christ. Anyway, Adam Biask as Ian, James Lancaster as William O'Day, and Tony Cox makes a tiny little appearance as they listed him on IMDb as the African-American Leprechaun, so they didn't even give this fucking guy a name, so, wow, I can tell the love and care they gave to everybody else. Tony Cox rules, by the way. Shit, did I say cock? I meant Cox. You know the other little, famous actor, he was in a lot of shit. Bad Santa 2. He was the little guy in Bad Santa 2. Fucking love that guy. Wow, 2 minutes in and this episode's already off the rails. I think that's a new record. Anyway, it's gonna be the same exact format as the last episode. Matter of fact, I'm just gonna, cut the fat and say all these episodes are gonna be in the same exact format, so I have to repeat myself, ad nauseum. Jesus Christ. I'm gonna run through the general plot beats of the film. I'll get into the characters, then getting into the background production info and a little bit of trivia there, before finally giving my overall thoughts and ranking of the film. So let's get started.
I need me gold!
Alright, so the film kicks off in 990s Ireland, and this guy by the name of William O'Day is currently enslaved by the Leprechaun because he tried to steal his pot of gold. It's St. Patrick's Day, and the Leprechaun is celebrating his 1000th birthday, and on this birthday, he gets to take a wife.
What trick is this now?
Don't you know what day it is?
A day like any other since I tried to take your damn pot of gold.
It's the 17th of March, the feast of St. Patrick.
And your birthday.
Tis a special birthday for a leprechaun. I'm 1,000 years old. Tonight, I can claim me bride.
Not exactly by her choice either. The Leprechaun promises O'Day that once he's wed, he's free forever.
Sneezes 3 times.
And if no one saves her soul by speaking, God bless you, the fair maiden is mine forever.
And am I to be her slave as well?
Oh no. The moment the lass is married to me, then you, my slave, shall be set free. You'd like your freedom, wouldn't you, William?
You know nothing is more precious to me than freedom. But why should I believe you?
By the sacred vow of the wee people, when I am wed, you'll have your freedom.
Unfortunately for O'Day, the girl he picked is his daughter.
May your wedding be blessed, and I thrash any soul who dare try and stop this union. Oh, please, Master, no.
What troubles you? Is she not beautiful enough for me?
The girl, she's my daughter.
Oh, really? Then we are to be related.
And the only thing that is required for the leprechaun to marry his daughter is if she sneezes 3 times without anyone saying God bless you, they're pretty much wed. Not sure how that works, but fairy. Or leprechaun bullshit, I don't fucking know. But to get out of it, oh my god, I can't believe that. I'm sorry, I have to pause. That is such a stupid fucking rule. I just need to get that out of my system to point that out. Oh my god. Anyway, to apparently get out of being married to the leprechaun, the father, O'Day, says, God bless you, and that prevents the leprechaun from marrying her. I don't fucking know. But anyway, she's saved, and that royally pisses off the leprechaun, so he kills O'Day in a fit of rage and curses his family bloodline and says within 1,000 years, he's gonna marry the next current female descendant.
A curse be placed upon your seed, William O'Day. You may have saved your daughter, but on me next 1000th birthday, I'll stalk your fairest offspring and claim her as me bride. Happy St. Patrick's Day.
Fast forward to exactly 1,000 years later on St. Patrick's Day in 1994 Los Angeles, we meet Cody.
Trust me, this tour is incredible. You won't believe your eyes. It will be the most frightening experience of your life.
Is it really scary?
Let me put it this way. You're not pregnant, are you? Because our insurance won't cover us. We've had our problems. Heart conditions, emotionally unstable or suggestible, please stay away. This is not the tour for you.
Let's go. This is one of those rip-offs.
Sure, walk away. I understand. If hearing the actual sound of Jane Mansfield's head being severed from her body is too intense for you, well then, more power to you. Maybe you should try Disneyland. It's probably more your speed.
Now, listen, sport, are you saying that...
I'm not saying anything. I mean, this tour's too much for most people. Now, if you'll excuse me. You, sir! Are you interested in the uncut, uncensored truth about Hollywood's dark side?
Hey, honey, didn't we see this the other night on the current event?
No, sir, you did not. This is the stuff the TV networks just don't have the guts to show.
I want to go, and you're too scared. You can just meet me back at the hotel.
Step right in, madame. There's a window seat reserved just for you.
Now, I am not scared.
You can wait for her at this really cute ice cream parlor right down the block.
Give me 2 tickets.
Now, there's a brave man. You won't be sorry.
Hey, an award-winning performance. Can we get a winner?
Bridget, I'll be just a minute. Let me just get these last 2 suckers and then I'm all yours, okay?
I understand. How can I compete with Jane Mansfield's severed head?
Oh, you can't.
The main guy of the film who's hustling with his Uncle Morty.
You look like the kind of man who can recognize a great opportunity when he sees one. Now, by investing in a dark side to a franchise, you can turn death into dollars. I can personally almost guarantee you a 45% annual return.
How about you guarantee you pay for that last round?
Frank, I am entertaining a client.
And Cody is currently with Bridget, who, unfortunately for her, is a descendant of the O'Day line and is destined to become the bride. Gee, that sucks. Cody is currently running some bullshit tour, haunted house tour, some stupid shit. I think it's haunted locations around Los Angeles or something like that. Anyway, he basically reels them in, and his Uncle Morty is supposed to drive them around LA, showing them the different spots. But unfortunately, Marty is way too fucking drunk to do so, which forces Cody to cancel his date with Bridget and to do this bullshit tour. They were supposed to go out on a go-kart track date run by his rival Ian, who just wants to fuck Bridget. He ends up dropping Bridget off at the go-kart place, and Bridget is pissed off and bails and ends up hanging out with Ian. Meanwhile, the Leprechaun emerges from his home, which is this really funky-looking magical tree somewhere in a park in the middle of Los Angeles or some shit. I can't really recall where they showed it. But anyway, he's on the hunt for Bridget to marry her. At the same time, Cody fucks up and he speeds through a red light and gets popped by the cops because he got pissed off during the tour. And Morty has to bail his ass out. Ian ends up driving Bridget home and tries to basically make his move on her and try to fuck her, but she wasn't going for it. Unfortunately for Ian, and fortunately for us viewing because Ian's a fucking tool, the Leprechaun sees this and in a fit of jealousy tricks Ian into kissing a really weird bladed fan thing. I have no fucking idea what this thing is. By casting an illusion with Bridget seducing him and taking her top off. More on that later. But yeah, in reality, instead of the illusion Bridget, it's actually, like I said, I think it's a lawnmower or some shit. And he gets his face completely shredded.
The vision before you appears to be true. Leprechaun's magic fools humans like you.
Was it as good for you as it was for me?
Ah! You shouldn't fool with me, lass. She sneezes once. She sneezes twice. She'll be me bride when she sneezes thrice.
Cody swings by the house and apologizes and makes up with Bridget. And they, have a reconciliation, and the Leprechaun busts the party and causes her to sneeze 3 times, which unfortunately makes her wedded to the Leprechaun. And he makes his big appearance, snatching Bridget away.
I've searched this fair land, far and wide. At last I got me a Leprechaun bride.
And since Cody is left back at the house, he basically gets blamed for Ian's death, and the cops are on the manhunt for him. However, in the scuffle with the Leprechaun back at Bridget's place, Cody actually comes into possession of one of the Leprechaun's gold shillings, which will come into play very importantly later. Meanwhile, back at the Leprechaun's treehouse, I guess you can call it, he immediately wants to, get down and dirty with Bridget.
What do you think of your bridal chamber?
It's awful!
I know it lacks a woman's touch, but you'll change that. Well, shall we?
Oh, God, please.
Now, me dear. I've waited 1,000 years for this night, but it was worth it. Just to claim an O'Day for me bride.
Wedding's not O'Day. You made a mistake.
O'Day is in your blood. I can smell it. I know what you need. A little Irish whiskey. Just to put you in the mood.
Which, dear God, I can't blame him.
She was hot as shit. I'm talking hot as shit.
God help me, how do I fuck this girl?
Calm down, Adam. Calm down. But before they can get down to it, he notices he's missing 1 gold coin out of his pot of gold. I have no idea how the fuck he manages to know what exactly is missing from this huge pot of gold. I mean, he must count it every fucking day. But he absolutely flips his shit.
Something new, something old. Let's be together on Leprechaun's gold. It's missing. A gold shilling. It's not here. It's missing. I must have it back.
And he says, no, this is priority. I can't get down with this tonight. I need to get this fucking coin back, essentially. Thank God for Bridget, though, because he is fucking disgusting. While all this is happening, Morty gets back to... son of a bitch. Cody meets back up with Morty. You know, folks, this is what happens when I don't write a script and I have a few. I just say random shit.
What the fuck are you talking about?
All nuns are lesbians.
What the fuck are you talking about?
But, you know, I think that's the charm of some of these episodes.
What the fuck are you talking about?
Anyway, Cody gets back with Morty and tells him about the whole situation. And Leprechaun crashes the party, tracking them both down and demanding his gold shilling back. Both Cody and Morty escape the Leprechaun and run to Morty's favorite bar, which is currently celebrating St. Patrick's Day. The Leprechaun chases them down there, and in my favorite scene of the movie, Morty tricks the Leprechaun into entering a drinking contest.
I can handle me drink. Oh. Frank, can I have a bottle of that red special rye? I'd like to show my little buddy here how a real man drinks.
Coming right up.
Drink what you want. Drink what you're able. If you're drinking with me, you'll be under the table.
And basically gets the Leprechaun just fucking piss-face drunk. Kind of like me right now. Although Morty's pretty clever because the whole time during the drinking contest, he was just drinking, I think, water disguised as rye or, I don't know, some stupid shit like that. Anyway, it wasn't alcohol he was drinking, while the Leprechaun was just downing a bottle of tequila. All at the same time, the little people in the bar are cheering the Leprechaun on, which is where Tony Cox makes a pretty fun cameo. And they're all chanting "One of Us," which is really fucking hysterical.
Let's cheer him on. He's one of us. 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 If you don't get that reference, it's from a very famous film in the 1930s, Todd Browning's The Freaks. Or is it just Freaks? I'm pretty sure it's Freaks. Anyway, Morty wins the drinking contest, and the Leprechaun is just absolutely pissed drunk. He manages to escape to an espresso bar and murders the barista for being he was being a fucking prick. Meanwhile, both Morty and Cody notice the Leprechaun had a weakness for cast iron, and they formulate a plan to trap the Leprechaun in a cast iron safe that's all the way back at the go-kart place that they went earlier with Bridget. And the plan is to get the little bastard in the safe so they could trap him and demand the return of Bridget. The Leprechaun tracks them down, and they actually manage to get him into the cast iron safe, and they pretty much essentially won until, Morty fucks up majorly. He locks Cody in the linen or broom closet of the go-kart place so he can't interfere, and he demands the Leprechaun give him 3 wishes, which apparently is a rule that if you catch a Leprechaun, he has to give you 3 wishes. And the first thing that Morty wishes for is the Leprechaun's pot of gold. It's a greedy man I'm dealing with. Don't! Are you sure you want it?
Oh, I'm sure. My first wish is for your gold.
So be it.
Where is it?
Oh, it's coming.
And fuck me, does he actually get it. So the Leprechaun grants his wish, and he ends up summoning the pot of gold inside of Morty's stomach, blowing him up like a freaking balloon and causing excruciating pain. The second wish being that Morty wishes the Leprechaun out of the safe, and this ends up freeing him. And for the third wish, Morty wishes for the Leprechaun to get the pot of gold out of his stomach.
Get it out of me! Get it out!
So, is that your wish?
Yes. Yes, yes. I wish you to get it out of me.
Very well.
Oh, great.
Love to, friend, but you're all out of wishes.
And, well, he should have phrased his words more carefully, since the leprechaun just slices his stomach open and basically disembowels him, pulling out the pot of gold, which kills the poor bastard. R.I.P. Morty. This all leads to another confrontation at the go-kart place when Cody realizes that as long as he's in possession of the gold shilling, the leprechaun can't kill him. The leprechaun fucks off back to his lair with Bridget to prepare for the final confrontation with Cody, since Cody said he knows where the leprechaun lives, in a very dramatic and kind of funny moment.
I'm gonna save Bridget! And then I'm gonna get you! You can't hide from me! I know where you live!
This all leads to a final showdown in the leprechaun's lair, where eventually Cody manages to get the better of the leprechaun, stabbing him with a cast iron rod, which causes the leprechaun to fucking explode, ending the film, and Bridget and Cody live happily ever after. Unfortunately, Mody's not there with them, so there's that. And that's pretty much the movie. Let's get into the characters while I sober up in the background.
I need the gold! Lay down.
Alright, I'm back and now I'm sobered up. You know, whenever I do these episodes, with the exception of the single take rants, I never record all in just one day. I just record segment by segment, so that's why I sound slightly different throughout the same episode you're listening to, because depending on the time of day, my energy levels fluctuate, and for extra fun when doing Grindhouse-style episodes, I drink a little booze to get into the spirit of things, and I purposely tune up the vulgarity, cursing, and random tangents, since my primary goal is to, entertain you guys and make you laugh while I review and talk about these films, TV shows, or games. I always get a chuckle out of thinking people listening to me are thinking in their minds, God, this guy is an unhinged, rude, crude, sex-crazed maniac. Meanwhile, in real life, my actual personality is just I'm a friendly, kind-hearted goof who just happens to be slightly unhinged. And I can't confirm the sex-crazed part, but I can't deny that either. Now, excuse me while I delete my browser history and close all these tabs I got open on my laptop. Fucking exit this shit. Fucking ads, ain't no one trying to hear that shit. Alright, that's one tab. Next tab. Shit. Fuck. It won't fucking close.
You love this dick.
I love it.
Goddamn slow computer.
That's your favorite dick, right?
That's my favorite.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
That's your large.
Oh, yes, it's large.
Yep, that's it. That's in your chest.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Your chest.
Oh my God.
God. Bitch, you believe in Satan, right?
Hell, Satan.
Fuck. Okay, sorry about that. I finally got that tab exited. I really need to learn how to use the mute button. But now that that business is over with and never to be mentioned ever again, let's get into the characters of Leprechaun 2. I want to start off with both Cody and Morty together. Cody being played by Charlie Heath and Morty played by Sandy Barron. These two are a pretty memorable duo, and I swear the guy behind the Rick and Morty cartoon used both Back to the Future and this movie as an inspiration for the characters, especially Morty's alcoholism given as a trait to Rick Sanchez. Both Cody and Morty are an uncle-nephew team who scam people on those shitty haunted tours, and given their place containing all these books and mythological stuff, they probably have a couple other side hustles going on. Uncle Morty being a somewhat cynical alcoholic who's the greeter one of the two, and Cody, who while also being a hustler, is clearly the moral compass between them both. A big difference between them is Cody has his priorities straight and won't be swayed with riches when Bridget, is his beautiful girlfriend, is captured and will put everything else aside to save her. Morty, on the other hand, lets his greed get the best of him, which unfortunately costs him his life. The sad thing being he obviously loves Cody, taking him in when his parents died, keeping the law off his back, and even joining him on his rescue mission. It's just unfortunate that he gets gold fever when they capture the Leprechaun and ends up fucking him. I wish he could have lived, but a silver lining is that Cody at the end knew better than to keep that gold coin at the end of the film, even after the Leprechaun was killed, not wanting to tempt fate and end up like Morty. And having Bridget by his side was all he needed. Speaking of whom, I want to get into. And oh, do I fucking wish. Now, inside. Goddamn, I'd blow this chick's back out.
I'm gonna you right in the ass. Yeah, I'm gonna bend you over and you right in the ass.
Hey, don't get offended, people. If you do, I don't care. Cope, seethe, rage, suck my dick, swallow my seed. I don't give a fuck. But I'm just saying what we're all thinking. Yes, that means you, listening right now. Look up the actress Siobhan Durkin, Leprechaun 2, and try telling yourself you wouldn't absolutely clap those cheeks raw.
I'm gonna get some cheeks, I ain't talking Sandy.
And I do mean everybody. Man, woman, non-binary, and everybody else in between. But let me chill out for a second and talk about her as a character. Bridget is shown to be very sweet and loyal to Cody, despite him... How do I put this nicely? Goddamn, I really do like Cody, but at the same time, it's like... She can get anybody she fucking wants, let's be honest here. And Cody has to accept the fact that he won the fucking jackpot without even really trying. Which, hey, respect. Hell, if I had a blonde like that interested in me, I would thank God for my existence every fucking day. It would be like God himself just took pity on me because it's like, well, I did kind of make him, short, not very good looking, definitely not that intelligent, dear God. Slightly awkward, terrible fucking vision, clumsy as all hell, with the attention span of a fucking goldfish. See, guys, I have fun roasting myself too. And then God just said, you know what, this guy's kind of pathetic enough, so let me give him at least a fun personality, a kind heart, and you know what, let me throw in a beautiful woman for him. I guess it's God's way of just proving that old phrase, even a blind squirrel finds a nut eventually. I'm not sure what was the bigger miracle. NASA getting a man on the moon, or me getting a woman on me. But hey, let's just say I found that nut. Anyway, Bridget is shown to be strong and brave despite being captured. She's not just a damsel in distress. She actually attempts to escape and even tries killing the Leprechaun. She's very loyal to Cody and punches that dipshit Ian for getting handsy and making a move on her. I'm glad that fucking idiot got his face shredded in the garage. Although there is one sad thing about that scene. The illusion of Bridget topless and seducing Ian was clearly a body double and not Siobhan Durkin. And watching, you could tell because the camera never shows her face when she's topless, and those breasts don't match the actress at all. She probably refused to do nudity, which, honestly, I can't say I blame her because, come on now. If I'm gonna get naked, this movie better be a fucking guaranteed hit, which, unfortunately, it was not. Matter of fact, it bombed so badly, and it was the last theatrical release Leprechaun movie, and the series went straight to home video. But I'm disappointed nonetheless. To me, body doubles are like finding out Santa isn't real all over again. But they make up for it at the end when she's wearing that sexy red dress when trying to seduce and kill the Leprechaun. Red is my favorite color, and when she sat down and she showed off those legs, god damn, I was ready to act up in this bitch. I was watching the movie talking to the screen like,
I'll tell you how sexy you look. So fucking sexy. Come here, girl. Bring your little sexy ass over here. Come on, both feet. Charge!
Overall, Bridget, while not going on the Final Girl Hall of Fame list, is a solid character who's likable, sweet, loyal, and sexy, and I wish I could have seen a return of her character, as well as the duo Cody and Morty. Rest in peace, Morty, you stupid bastard. And last but certainly not least, Warwick Davis once again as the Leprechaun. My fucking boy. I love this fucking guy. This time around, his motivation is probably one of the simplest and most relatable to anyone.
What do you love most?
Poontang.
That's right, he's just trying to get his wick wet. A perfectly understandable and honestly human trait. It's unfortunate that he's not too big into consent since he literally slaps a fucking golden slave collar on Bridget and says he's gonna change her to look more like a leprechaun and impregnate her. Ugh, holy fuck, I wanted to throw up in my mouth picturing that. I do gotta give him props when it comes to his taste in women, though, because my man knows what he likes, and funny enough, we have a very similar type of woman. Blonde, sweet, and a little bit of feisty. Then again, as long as a woman has A, a pulse, B, boobs, C, can put up with me for over 48 hours, D, likes horror films, I'm happy whatever she looks like. I always wanted to get with a tall woman who towers over me, since I personally think that's funny and somewhat wholesome at the same time when I see a very tall woman and a very small guy. It's kind of fucking hot, too. Like that one episode in Futurama when the guys get captured and almost fucked to death by these huge, hot Amazon women.
I, computer, have decided the fate of the men. Computer sentences them to death! By snoo-snoo!
Yeah!
That's the way I want to die. Or at least in a funny way that my loved ones can get a laugh out of. For this film, in terms of personality and temperament, they make the Leprechaun more of a wisecracker with his rhyming lines, which I personally think is the best route to go in since, I mean, come on, it's a fucking Leprechaun. They shouldn't take the character too seriously, aside from some minor dark moments which were pretty great. His best line and scene in the entire movie being the drinking contest he gets into against Morty, showing he could be civil with people he's also beefing at the same time with.
Drink what you want. Drink what you're able. If you're drinking with me, you'll be under the table.
This started the trend of scenes of the Leprechaun having non-violent interactions with people for comedic purposes that gets repeated later. At the same time, he is also more violent toward people for minor or perceived slights, like when he ripped that asshole's finger off in the downtown area since he had a gold ring.
He thinks I'm going to like this town. Finger looking good.
Or that fucking moron at the espresso bar he was drinking up at, and the guy, the barista, was demanding he pay up. Although he was being a prick and made the terrible mistake of making fun of him. So, fuck that guy anyway.
Oh, you kill me. Oh, now there's an idea.
It's kind of a reverse situation of Freddy Krueger, where Freddy shouldn't be more comedic than dark, while the Leprechaun should be. Dear God, I'll eventually cover the Nightmare on Elm Street movies and how the sequels after Part 3 really fucked with his character. But back to the Leprechaun, when it comes to consistency with his character, the writers essentially throw more and more out the fucking window and go back and forth on certain powers, abilities, and even his age. In the first film, the Leprechaun explicitly says he's 600 years old. In this film, he just turned 1,000 in the opening in the year 994, and in the then current day of the 1994 of the movie, he's 2,000 years old. That is such a huge fucking change, it is mind-blowing. In the making of Leprechaun 2, they touch on this and say Part 2 is a reboot before they became mainstream to do in films. Hell, every sequel is pretty much a reboot in this series, like the Texas Chainsaw Massacre movies, the only consistent thing being the character of the Leprechaun himself, which apparently is the same exact one for each film, which makes zero fucking sense. In the sixth movie, if I recall correctly, they finally reveal his name, which is Lubden. Fun fact about the OG creator of the character, he didn't pick that name and intended to be Basil, but the scene which revealed the name never got shot for the first film, and a tie-in comic book that he didn't write to the franchise was the one that gave him the name Lubden first, and it just stuck. And the horror community has called him that ever since. On to his powers in this film, which are returning from the previous movie. They are telekinesis, strength, teleportation, and voice mimicry. New this time around is he can actually cast illusions, disguise himself as a human, and wish granting like an evil genie twisting the user's wish to fuck them over, and also the ability to curse someone, in this case a family bloodline, so we could track their descendants down no matter where the fuck they are on the world. Oh, and finally he can magically enslave people, since his hold over the guy in the beginning, O'Day, is still strong even in his death. As for weaknesses, a new thing this time around is he can't kill you if you possess a piece of his gold, which is kind of bullshit since in the first film, he was about to fucking kill Ozzy, who had a gold coin in his goddamn stomach, and that didn't stop the Leprechaun from attacking and nearly cutting the bastard open for it. There's no mention of four-leaf clovers as kryptonite this time around, but a new one is wrought iron, which I read is an actual weakness for spirits in the Fae, aka fairy folk, which the Leprechaun is. I personally love that since it's an actual canon weakness for those mythological beings and it has actual folklore to it. I didn't want them to do the same fucking thing anyway with the four-leaf clover. Overall, Warwick Davis really brought his A-game for the movie and is arguably, this is his strongest performance as the Leprechaun in this series. Damn it, just give us one more film, Warwick. You're the fucking man. Well, that's all for the characters. Now I want to give my overall thoughts of the film and rank to this episode.
I need me gold!
Alright, getting into my overall thoughts on the film. To me, this is the best film and my personal favorite in the series. It did everything better than the first film, something a sequel should do. All the characters were really good and likable, with Cody and Morty being a fun uncle-nephew team, Bridget being such a likable female lead and having the face of an angel.
She was hot as shit. I'm talking hot as shit, man.
And Warwick Davis giving his all as the Leprechaun. I award this film 4 four-leaf clovers out of 5. The only things lowering the score being Morty dying since I genuinely wanted him to live and learn his lesson, but unfortunately that didn't happen. The body count being too low since only one more person died in this compared to the last, having a total of 4 deaths. And I wanted to see more of Siobhan Durkin as Bridget, and I mean that in multiple ways. Well, guys, this is the end of the episode. I hope you enjoyed it and had some laughs. Tune in next time for the next film in the Leprechaun saga, Leprechaun 3. Man, does this series go downhill from here. Ugh. But we're going to ride this out together, and thank God for this tequila bottle I bought in Mexico, since I'm going to need to get through some of these. See you guys soon.